Fujian province, home to around 3.5 million people, but the weather is undecided to say the least. It's sunny again here, but sometimes we don't know whether we're going to get wet or get burnt. A shower just a moment ago, but now there's a slight breeze in the air, but the sun is beautiful and the temperatures are rising, and it's very good beach volleyballing conditions, really. Yesterday saw high winds across the face of the court from left to right of the main camera. Although now it's very, very pleasant. After the dominant performance of the Brazilians, Anna, Patricia and Rebecca, they cruised past the USA. Summer Ross and Sarah Hughes played very well, but they were too consistent, the Brazilians, and the Brazilians went through to the final. But will it be Taliqua Clancy and Mary Faye Artaccio from Australia, Barbara Hermanova and Marketa Slakova from the Czech Republic that will join them in the final? We're about to find out in what should be an epic game between two teams that know each other very well. Choi Sung-hoon, the first referee. Second referee from China, Wang Leijun. So we've met the officials, now it's time to meet the players. They played each other twice in big games, at big events, and there's been nothing between them. The team from the Czech Republic won 2 big encounters in Hamburg at the World Tour finals last year, and it will be them that are introduced first. Sorry, just a change of camera. It's the Australians who are introduced first, and Maria Faye Artaccio, 25 years old, originally from Peru but resides in Adelaide, 5'9", and her partner Taliqua Clancy, who will be doing her share of the blocking at 6 foot tall, 184 centimeters. Previously playing with Louise Bowden at Rio 2016. But the Australians, a new pair post-Rio, and they're going very well. Now we do get to meet the Czech Republic, Barbara Hermanova from Ostrava, that will be hosting a 4-star event in June. This team are ranked #1 in this competition, and you can see why. They haven't played since August last year, and Marketa Slakova makes her way into the arena. The 30-year-old from Prague will be doing the lion's share of the defending here. And this is the 4th time that these two teams have played each other. Team from the Czech Republic having won the previous 3. Every game, we'll go through the results in just a moment, but every game so close between the two, so the Australians will be wanting to get their own back. First point goes to Australia, chipping high, line over the top of the block, very smooth, very accurate work, as the coach from the Czech Republic side was saying that potentially his team were a little bit nervous, or not nervous, they're an experienced team, but because they haven't played for so long, a little bit apprehensive. But once again, they're the seeded #1 in the competition as Marketa Slakova gets underway, working away from the body. Sorry, working through the body and off the touch of the block. More crowds expected here in Xiamen today, although it's a working day here due to a 4-day holiday next week. The game's being played very early local time due to China just having one time zone, and we'll be losing light around 5:30, 6 o'clock local time as Australia. They're doing what they do so well all the time, and that's opening up the court. They attack from all 8 meters of the net. They run the ball wide this time. Maria Fei, or M-Fei as she's known, finds the sideline. Good work off the ball from Maria Fei as well, passing, getting her approach really well. Passing off the net is Slakova, they're out of system. Chance off one hand, almost putting the Australians under all sorts of pressure, but there's a set that's leaked over the net, can't be confirmed by Herman over, and finally it's a slightly scrappy rally overall, but it's the Australians who have had a glorious start here. They've already beaten the likes of Talita and Tiana, Brooke Sweat, and multiple Olympic gold medalist Kerry Walsh-Jennings as well. They've had wins against Austria and also April Ross and Alex Kleinman. And this is just the start they needed. It looks as if the Czech Republic need a timeout. They need to get back in because they've not had the start that they've wanted, and that's because the Australians have come out firing. Smiles all round for Australia, who won Olympic bronze in Atlanta 96 through Nat Cook and Kerry Pottharst, beating Barbara Fontana. And then the Handley in that bronze medal game. And then they took the gold, Cook and Pottharst. Sydney 2000 on home sand. But since then it's been quieter for Australian women's volleyball, and this team looks like they could be one to look out for throughout the next year or so, heading into Tokyo. Clancy, who's been working with coach Kirk Pittman on her float serve, decides to stay with her spin serve and charge into the net. Czech Republic side out. They get a crucial point to stay in touch at 5-2. Good look at the court. Thunderous swing on the angle from Herman over. Very high. Goes for the hard, deep swing. Slakova and Herman over. The last time they played the Hamburg finals, the FIVB World Tour, Red Bull Major Series. They took a second place. The Australians played in the Sydney 3-star just last month or so. They took a ninth, which was disappointing as the overpass is very clear. And what you don't want to do to this team is give them points for free. Maria Fei just getting the ball caught close to her body, passing the ball too tight to the net. Again, passing issues for Maria Fei. Ardacchio getting caught close on the left, but this time getting caught to the body, deep to the right-hand side. Slakova serving delightfully well here for the Czech Republic. Setting from Clancy is on point. The Australians doing what they do so well. They run the ball wide to try and stress the blocker all the time. It's the Australian way. It's the way they've always played, and really they've been pioneers at times for this new style of game that we even see that's been transferred into the likes of Adrian Karambula, Kantor Loziak. They do a few different things as Slakova, Hermanova score again. Josh Slack from Australia that started with these funky reverse sets that we see all the time nowadays. And this serve takes the pressure away from Australia. Two service errors in a row here. Australians who took a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games last year, losing to Canada in the finals, but they've won gold in Lucerne, Espino, Sydney and Quinn Shao. There's just a discussion going on here. Change of ends, tied at 7. Talika Clancy still getting involved with the referee. Former partner is Louise Bowden, who she competed with from 2013 to 2017 under the guidance of Steve Tutton. A change of partner and now change of coach as the Australians go with Kurt Pittman, who is the former England coach at the Commonwealth Games. Underneath the ball was Slakova, who fires really long, and the problem is that when you're underneath the ball like that, your arm doesn't quite come through, so you don't quite have jurisdiction over where the ball finishes. It's a scratchy game so far, with both teams making a few errors. Reverse set this time. Slakova has a good look at the court, and she almost sells the line play before chopping it back angle. It's a great bit of work from Marki Slakova. Has a good look at the court, almost shows it to Maria Feartaccio. She makes a move more centrally to take the line shot, and she chips back angle. Another missed serve. How many of those are we seeing in this semi? Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's just a little bit of some cobwebs that just need to be blown away for a moment or two. Chance from the left side. Slakova has another look at the court, goes high line again. Maria Fay with good eyes chases that one down, but it should be a point for the Czech Republic, and it is. They're looking for another decision here. This time it's a Czech team that have queries with the first referee, Joy Hung Sun. Wide plays again. You can just see the theory behind the Australians, running the ball wide, working the hands of Herman over at the net. She has to move to the right-hand side with the Australian attack, and she can't quite get her hands around the ball because she's being pushed and the ball's drifting all the time. Off the net again, Slakova with good eyes. She knows that Clancy's retreating. She tries to hit her on the way back, and she's successful. Clancy isn't quite balanced. Slakova, who played at the Summer Olympics in London with Kristina Kolikova, but now playing with Barbara Hermanova, and coached this team by Simon Nosh. More joy. And the Australians, who got off to a very good start, have just been pinned back by the Czech Republic's technical timeout. 1 point game. They're finding their feet again here, the team in blue. So game on once again here in Xiamen. Technical timeouts arrive after 21 points. Just going one way and another, but both teams are capable of missing the odd serve, but that's just the way the game's going. Risk versus reward behind the baseline in a game where you're having to try and get the opposition out of system passing off the net to try and make transitions. Great passing from Maria Fey. They're trying to use that 2-ball as much as possible, but that's maybe a little bit quick off the arms of Maria Fey. It looked good to start with, but it's difficult to track the ball that comes off the arms quick. The knuckle to the sideline from Taliqua Clancy, just wide of the mark. Passing a little bit more stable. Maria Fey off the block of Hermanova. Chance for Slukova. She hammers angle and she gets past Maria Fey Artaccio. This time the ball just getting past the defender. To be a little bit more aggressive at times. Aggression all with the Czech Republic here. Timeout Australia, because after a good start, the Czech Republic are serving well. And they've taken the initiative, that's for sure. Remember, the set's a race to 21 points. The winner of this game will play Brazil for gold, as Ana Patricia and Rebecca watch eagerly to the left-hand side of the commentary position, taking notes on their potential opposition for what would be a second gold medal of this year for the Brazilian team after winning in The Hague in January. They're looking strong, but they know that this draw here in Xiamen was full of the best teams in the world. Olympic and world champion Laura Ludwig made her return to competitive volleyball after taking a year out with new partner Maggie Kozic. They're taking steps in their development together, but this week wasn't their week, although Laura Ludwig stating that she was very happy with the way the team performed, even though they lost their opening 2 games. More service problems, and that's the story of this game. There's been some great moments, though. Let's look over the service target. Passes to the centre of court. It opens up the angles for her. It's a good pass, passing to the centre from the left side. Has all options open. Cross court was her choice. Feet to the ball. She looks at the court really well and finds the seam between the defender and the blocker. Service so good for Maria Fey Artaccio. The Australians love playing the 2-ball. They love playing the ball wide. And serving Maria Fey Artaccio straight to the line means she struggles to create angles on her arms to get Taliqua Clancy in on 2. Good work from the Czech Republic. They look to serve the line again here. Where they change it up to Taliqua Clancy. Nobody ready for that one, but somehow, stunningly with one hand, Taliqua Clancy manages to get the ball in. Australia managed to get the side out, and they've managed to score a point and bring it back to 2. Nobody expecting that one. A change-up of serve from the Czech Republic. Clancy somehow finding an angle off the arms. Slukova now serves straight to the line from Clancy. Clancy has a look at Slukova, but Slukova turns it back to the sideline. She's been stable, hasn't she, within her side-out play. She's had questions asked of her. Formerly FIVB top rookie of the year, Slukova, quite a few years ago now. She's certainly one of the best in the world. The serving from the Czech Republic, again proving to be the Achilles heel. For Australia. Better passing, good width, looking to challenge the block again with the wide set. Covering the Sam well as Taliqua Clancy has a swing to the line. No block, no respect from Clancy. Slukova's turn to just become a bit insecure with her touch. Fighting back Australia through Maria Faye Artache. Represented Australia at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio with former partner Nikki Ladd. Blocking from Clancy is good, and a jumbo from Slakova. Gets right after that one. Underneath it, goes for the high dipping swing over the top of the defender. 3 points needed. They're looking for a hand over. Hermanova is not happy whatsoever with the decision here. The hand can't go over the net. It's difficult to see. They're looking. There's a knuckle from Clancy. Clancy pleading her innocence. Referee has the final decision. Australia are coming back into this one at the right time. By a whisker, though, that one misses the sideline at the bottom of the screen. And it's a game of inches, isn't it? That one goes in. The teams change at 17-18. And the game's very much alive. Although, you miss that serve. 3-point game for the Czech Republic, who started a bit slowly here. But they have served so well going in to the final stages of this opening set. Wide plays again. Australia, Maria Faye Artache has a look at the court. Slakova just steps in on the inside play, but the set's very tight, and when the ball is set so tight to the net, Taliqua Clancy will take every bit of ball available to her. You never know. Australia might just get back into this one. Reverse play again, chip back angle, set point for the Czech Republic. Three opportunities here. Barbara Hermanova serving from that left position straight down the line to Maria Faye Artache, who then goes wide again, chipping off the block. It's a high arm, it's off the outside hand, and it goes missing by the sideline. One saved, two more needed. Taliqua Clancy to serve. Play serve to the inside. Marketa Slakova siding out to take this opening set. It's a really late wait in the block, but it's very good. There's a decision going somewhere. Slakova says, my bad, I've touched the net. But initially, very strong work as well from Clancy, who just waits and watches everything as she gets ready to pounce on Slakova's spike. Serve to the line from Clancy. Slakova needs this one to seal it. And finally, it took them multiple goes, but the Czech Republic, who have a very favourable record against this Australian team, have taken the opening sets of this second semi-final. Slakova cannons that one through the hands and into the sand. They've won all three matchups between the two teams. They're looking to win number 4 as well. Well, the first set goes to Barbara Hermanova and Marketa Slakova, 21-19. The scores are quite close. We have a lot more action coming your way in the second set in just a moment. Some great shots of set one. Set two is getting underway as the pitches come back onto this centre court in the Fujian province. We're in Xiamen. Two missed serves in a row. Once again proving both teams are targeting service pressure on the opposition. Murife passes good angles, and it's one of the only times we've seen so far that Murife Altache can use that two ball to Taliqua Clancy. They'll use that to try and hold the block of Hermanova. She'll be interested now in Clancy, and she'll have to watch out for that one because then the Australians will run the wide ball. But now they're in transition to try and win two in a row. Fires to the line. It's very controlled, very smooth bits of business from Australia. Staying low all the time, sweeping plays of defense between touches and working the ball to the line, wrist away, off the body. Stakova from the middle this time, goes back to the line. Different styles of play from both teams. Stakova goes to the inside, fires back to the line. The Australians looking to play from wider areas of the court. Hitting from the inside, you have more angles to attack from. Same story as the first set, as the service. The Czech Republic producing the goods yet again. Wide plays. And you can see in the reaction, it's a monster block from Barbara Hermanova. But what she does so well here is she tracks the play. She goes wide, 2 steps to get the line. Her eyes are always watching the spiker, and then she presses into the heart of court. Fantastic work from the team in blue. Another missed serve. But Hermanova is showing her class here as well today. Australia, who took a third here last year, looking to improve that by making a final. Chipping angle, watching it closely. Maria Fea Taccio. She saw it. She tracked it. It's way off the mark in the end. Deep serving on Slikova. Great angles. Hard work for Slikova to hit that angle after being served to the line. Chasing hard though. Taliqua Clancy has a little look at the court as Maria Fea Taccio fires into the net. Taliqua Clancy staying still, covering and calling, but hitting away from the body is difficult. Another race for the Czech Republic. Hermanova again peppering the Australians left, right and centre here. And maybe that's just the difference between the two teams. Picking up aces, serving good angles here as well. The Czech Republic 6-5. Murife Altache spreading the play like butter again, Australia, but stepping around on the angle is Slikova. She looks for that same cut shot as we've seen 2 or 3 times, but they know it's coming. They've done their homework, Australia. Second chance in transition. And finally, Clancy. Scurrying everywhere, but she stays very close to Maria Fea Taccio there to let the ball come across her so she can put the ball away. Good passing. It's a little bit straight from Slikova. She'll want to be more comfortable hitting the line from that position. As she passes so straight, it's difficult to hit more sharp angles across the court, but she does put the ball away on the line very well. She likes hitting that way. Marketa Slakova. Fertaccio once again struggling to get the 2-ball away, but she decides to go with the back send chip line. It's a good decision because Slakova is still defending the angle, so she has to go from one position defending the angle on her right side of the court to change to the left side, and by the time she's got round and settled, the ball's been chipped the other way from Maria Fertaccio, so she has to travel a long way back to try and make the dig. Tantalising stuff. Once again, Australia decide to leave the line open. They might just be disappointed not to dig that one. Number 1 seeds for this tournament, Hermanova and Slakova. Hitting from way downtown, another error from Australia. Clancy this time dispatching the ball wide of the mark. Flat serving, fast passing, too quick, too low for Clancy to go on to. Maybe that's a sign of frustration. But once again, Hermanova is serving a very flat and potent ball that just crosses the net band by millimeters, meaning there's no time for the reception unit of Australia. Time locally still at 9:35 AM. The game starting early here in Xiamen, due to it still getting dark at around 6 PM. Only one time zone in China, so in some places it does get dark a little bit early. Business as usual for Australia post timeouts. They needed the side out and produced it very nicely. And the service pressure from Clancy, it's a rocket from the baseline. Not quite stable in her passing positions. Look over. We're back to 1. Great timeout from the Australians. Now they have a chance to counter, but unfortunately they only find the net. Lines the call, lines the play. That's why they play with the width, to try and attack the sideline. Try and squeeze the blocker, put them under all sorts of pressure that they can't get across to seal the line. They leave space open. Technical timeout time, and this one could still go either way. back over the target on the left side. 1 point game, but it's always going to be that close between these two teams. Slakova with the cut shot, but when they first met last year, these two sides, at the Vienna Major, Hermanova and Slakova, 21-19, 21-19, and then at the World Tour Finals in Hamburg, the teams met on 2 occasions. The first time, Hermanova and Slakova, 1 in 3, 21-18, 19-21, and 16-14. It went to overtime, went really into overtime as well in the semi-finals of the World Tour in Hamburg, where, again, the Czech team won 13-21, 21-19, 17-15. Out of system, it's a high roller. Tracking back is Artacho, and the errors creeping in now for the team from the Czech Republic. The number 1 seeds are not having it all their own way after winning the first set and starting the second really nicely as well. Clancy going for the spin serve on Hermanova. This time she's on the outside, high ball, looking to go over the hands, but Clancy is alert, she's alive, and she's reactive in the block, eyes on the prize. She goes for the joust the first time and then knuckles high over the top. Australia, from absolutely nowhere, they were having to take timeouts moments ago. Now they lead. Clancy again. More tight setting, and Clancy is serving and making points in the block. Big moments here as the Australians look to go to 3 sets. The Czech Republic have called a timeout because they're feeling the heat here in Xiamen. Still lots of work to be done here from Slakova and Hermanova. Clancy, one of the best in the world when she's in one of these moods, serving, dynamic, powerful, and then on fire at the net as well. What you'll find is scoring points behind the baseline will take the pressure off of the passing unit as well. Finals coming our way later on in Xiamen. The men's medal matches to be played as well. Russia and Oleg Stoyanovsky, Vyacheslav Krasilnikov playing so well in their first season together, up against a team who've played together for a very long time in Pablo Herrera and Adrian Gavira. Off the body, Artacho just works the angles so nicely. In the other men's semi-final yesterday, the losers of the semi-final will play for bronze. Adrian Karambula and Enrico Rossi playing a really extravagant game at the moment, moving the ball around all over the place, playing different tempos as well. Slakova scores, and finally Clancy's run of serves. Comes to an end, side switch. Serving high on Artacho. Great setting from Clancy. That means there's another chance because the block was a slow touch. Second one from Hermanova was ferocious though. Pressing super far into the opposition's territory. Suffer that one. Great line, great hands from Hermanova, and this serve lets Australia off the hook because it means they don't have to pass and set. Which at times passing has been their problem in this game, but they're serving well and they're making more points behind the baseline than in the first set. The ball's close to the net. Somehow Hermanova has managed to work that one back on an angle cross court. some would say that was potentially a tight pass from Slakova, but good decision-making all the same. It's Australia that go on 2 now as well. A slower touch of the ball from Artaccio is smooth. The ball goes in to a good position in the central area, and Clancy can do the rest. After a good run previously from Clancy, she misses that one. Interesting time of this game because it's only 1 point between the two teams, but Czech Republic will fancy themselves here, and rightfully so, as there's another point from the service line from Maketa Slakova, peppering Artaccio to the left-hand side, and the scores are tied. They know they can score when serving. They've served well all game. They go deep again on Artaccio, who now is hitting from the reverse, set it slightly wide. Great work in the feet again from Hermanova. Short steps across the face of the net from the blocker. They're looking for a net touch here, the Australians, but phenomenal work from the Czech blocker. Everything facing back into the centre of court with the hands. Hands drop inside at the last possible moment, and this one has turned on a sixpence again. Slakova with 2 good serves in a row, going back to the line of Artaccio, you'd feel here, using the wind as well as it just breezes across left to right. Fantastic passing, but Clancy fires long. Process may be good from the Australians, as the 2 ball is an influential part of their side-out game. Same again. But this time, Hermanova! She sees it coming so early. She tracks the ball into the net. She tracks the hitter as well in Clancy. Sidestepping again from left to right. She manages to stay balanced in the air, make the press, and with that comes the first match point. Slakova with it to the line. More fast passing. This could well and truly be over, but there's a net touch against Barbara Hermanova. 1 saved. Second set point, Slakova from the left-hand side, off the hands of Taliqua Clancy. And it is a 4th straight victory for the Czech Republic against this Australian team. They've served so well, and they've made big plays at big moments, and maybe 1 or 2 errors too costly for the Australians, who fought so hard as well. They will be playing for bronze, but the Czech Republic will be playing Brazil later on here in Xiamen for gold. And this was how the game was settled. It's the 35th event for these star Czech Republic players, and they've won 110 of them of their 160 games.